Are you spending enough time on the balcony of your life and business, or too much time on the dance floor? In my experience, most businesses, most leaders, most entrepreneurs are consumed on the dance floor of their business. The days, the weeks, the months all seem to merge into one. And I think this metaphor of the balcony offers a rich opportunity to really think differently about how you use your time. So imagine that you go to a packed nightclub and there's one of two places that you can go. One, you can hit the dance floor. And one of the things that dictates whether you go straight to the dance floor is one of two things. Either one, how drunk you are, or two, how good you think your dancing is. Now, I'm not great at dancing, so the one place I'm going to is the balcony on the sides. And the reality is, what does the balcony give you that the dance floor doesn't? And the balcony gives you perspective, it gives you context. It allows you to get that helicopter view over your life and your business that you don't see when you're consumed on the dance floor. And only when you get to the balcony can you start to ask questions like, am I dancing on the right dance floor? Am I dancing to the right music? Am I creating my own music, or am I dancing to somebody else's tune? What's the cadence and the rhythm like? Am I on the front foot or am I on the back foot? And it's so easy to be so busy in life. And one of the questions I always use when I'm with clients is when they use this expression, Royston, I'm so busy, I always challenge them by saying, don't focus on being busy, focus on being productive. And the question is, what really makes you productive? What are the things that are really value adding, that will really move the needle and make a difference in how you can be the best leader that you can be, in how you can grow and scale your business? And only when you get to the balcony can you create that perspective, get the time to be really reflective and think about what makes you productive versus what makes you busy. Time flies, but the great news is you're the pilot, and it's about putting you in the driver's seat of your life. Businesses don't grow on their own, leaders grow businesses. And if you're not creating the time to get perspective, to get context, to really think about what's going to move the needle and make the difference, then when you get that balcony perspective, when you go on the dance floor, you can really be focused on being productive, not just busy. There's another really important technique that I think sits along this whole concept when you do get to the balcony, which is this. And I wish I'd learnt this earlier in my business career, because I think I would have been far more accelerated in my thinking and where I've got to in terms of my own personal journey. And it's simply this: learn to say no to the unimportant things so you can spend more time saying yes to the important things. And let me give you a really simple example. Imagine you're getting ready on a Saturday night and you turn to your partner and you say, who agreed to go to this dinner party tonight? I don't even like the people who are going to be there. I don't even want to go. And so often in life, we say yes when we should say no. And the trait for the natural entrepreneur is your glass is always half full. It's not half empty. But it's about being disciplined. It's about really thinking about what's going to add value and learning to say no more often so that you can say yes to the important things. So let's make this real. I think there's three tangible, practical actions that you can take away to instantly be able to apply and get value from this concept of balcony time. The first is this. Imagine if you sat down on a Monday morning and you took 15 minutes and you went through the playbook of the week in your mind and you really thought about, what does my high performance week look like? If I was to get to Friday and there were three things that were really going to move the needle this week, what would be those three things? I call it your Monday morning 15-minute preview session. And then on a Friday afternoon, before you close down for the weekend, you go through the playbook of the week in your mind and you do your review session, which again is 15 minutes, where you go through the playbook of the week. Did you nail those three things? What's gone well? What can you learn? What would you do differently next week? What would you repeat next week because it's really adding value and making a difference? So your weekly preview review session is a great concept that you can take away and apply instantly. But here's the trick, here's the hack with this. You must block it in your diary and block out the time, because if you don't, guess what? You will get busy, your diary will get filled with other things. At least if you've got it in your diary, there is then a conscious choice about making sure that you either stick to it, or if you do move it, you make sure it goes back in somewhere else. So the weekly preview is a great concept, but you can also do that on a daily basis. What if in the morning you just took 5 minutes to think about what's really going to make the difference? What's the one thing I'm going to nail today that will help me to be successful? And then on the way home from work, you do your daily review session where you go through the playbook of the day in your mind and just review what's gone well. What would I want to repeat next week or repeat tomorrow, and what things might I want to do differently. So that's the first key idea. The second is this: on the premise of busy versus productive, if you sat down and said, what are the half a dozen things that are going to allow you to be really productive this year, that are really going to allow you to move the needle, that are really worthy of your time, that are really going to allow you to drive your business forward and make sure that you are getting the balcony time and driving the right things in your business. Capture those things, and then that leads nicely into the third thing, which is design your high performance weeks with conscious, deliberate intent. For over a decade now, every Monday morning, I sit down with my PA for literally 90 minutes. We're going through the playbook of the week. We're going through where I'm spending my time. My weeks are divided into a series of buckets with time allocation against each. And we are all the architects of our own destiny. And it's about making sure that you are focused on the right things, that you are designing with conscious intent, and you're really adding value as the leader and doing the things that only you can do. So there you have it, 3 really simple ideas for how you can take away and instantly apply the concept of balcony time. Make sure you block it in your diary. Make sure you get value from this. It will be one of the most important things that you do.